Hi there, this is Janet Gerstensiegel, and I'm the Lonely Writer. This is serious social media help for the independent author. An independent author is defined as a person who does not yet have an agent. Now, all this month I'm doing daily writing prompts for NaNoWriMo. The idea, of course, is to try to inspire you. The prompts are all in kind of a mixed up order. So if you just follow them lockstep from first to second to third, etc., you probably wouldn't get a very coherent story. So please feel free to mix them up, skip a few, sort of repurpose them, or even look at them after NaNoWriMo. You certainly won't hurt my feelings if you do things differently. Now, today's prompt is a somewhat different one in that it's rather specific. A lot of these prompts are very generalized, but this one's really specific. And it's just 4 words. This sentence fragment is, dragon for sale, cheap. Now, your first question should be, there really isn't a wasted word in this 4-word prompt. So the first question is, of course, oh my gosh, there are dragons in this story. So it's probably not going to be your standard noir. It might or might not be a science fiction tale. It might or might not be a romance. So it kind of pushes you in the direction of a fantasy genre, but it doesn't have to, because you can kind of marry that genre with another one if you like. Certainly from the prompt, you immediately get the connotation of that, of course, there are dragons in this story. Now, and then the second one, of course, is, why is this one being sold? That should be a very big question for you. I mean, why do we sell anything? Well, we sell things because we want to unload them. We might sell things because we need the money. We might sell things because we need the space. But then the other word kind of brings it home in a different direction, and it says, why is this thing cheap? And it's the word cheap, the disparaging word, as opposed to a fancier word like inexpensive. So if you're selling the dragon cheap, it probably means that it's not necessarily for the bucks. Maybe it's for some other reason. Maybe it is, like I said, you need the space, or there's something else going on here. And of course, the other part of this, the implication, is that someone's doing this selling. So now the question is, who is that person? Can we look at this a little bit differently? Let's add a few more spins to it. One of them is that from this 4-word sentence fragment, it implies very strongly that dragons are common in this universe. So you've got some world building that's going on with only 4 words. And then also there's the question, of course, is, well, what happens if maybe what's happening here is that the seller is a fence. Maybe this is a stolen creature, and they're just trying to unload it really quickly before whatever the equivalent of the authorities catches up with them. That might be the problem there. Or maybe this is an annoying animal. Maybe this dragon snores, or breathes on the owner's prized petunias and destroys them, and does that even when it's told not to. Or perhaps this is a more dangerous dragon than expected. It could even be when people will buy like pot-bellied piglets, and they're really small and they're really cute and lovely, but people seem to forget that these become hogs and they become very large. So maybe that's the case here, that the dragon was originally obtained perfectly legally, but it was small and kind of cute, and maybe it just toasted marshmallows to start, and now suddenly it's this big behemoth of a beast. Or maybe this is a litter. Maybe it's like having too many kittens, and you've got to sell, you've got to kind of unload them. I mean, of course, yes, we want to be responsible pet owners. I'm not implying anything differently here, but this is fiction, so we're talking fiction here. And if you've got a dragon to unload, or maybe you've got a lot of them to unload, how would you do it? So what would you think if you saw a sign, or your character created a sign that said, dragon for sale, cheap? Finally, this is Janet Gerstensiegel, and I'm the Lonely Writer, because an independent writer never has to be alone. Thank you so much for listening, and good luck on NaNoWriMo.